Hello and welcome back. Before we move on to other authors, I would like to talk about one more Murakami book, his nonfiction and a really serious work of his, which is called Underground. The reader will get a chance to see Haruki Murakami not only as a writer, but also as a journalist, and a really cool one, in my opinion. And also as a Japanese who was deeply hurt by the reaction of the local authorities and media to what happened. So, in 1995, a tragedy occurred in Tokyo subway. A terrorist attack, a sarin attack, which was perpetrated by the members of the cult. The original Japanese version contains the interviews of the survivors of this attack. Well, this English translation also consists of the interviews with the members of the cult, but with those who weren't participating in the attack and weren't responsible for it. And also it consists of the interview of the author, which is called Blind Nightmare, Where Are We Japanese Going? I was really shocked. Can you imagine people at the epicenter of the attack, realizing and seeing what was happening? Some people were dying, they were coughing. At this moment, all they could think about was how to get to work on time. So they kept on moving fanatically, so to say. They also preferred to think that the unfortunate ones, other passengers who were losing consciousness, for example, would be helped later by special services. And this fact really disappointed Haruki Murakami. The fact that there wasn't any dialogue or collaboration between the passengers. Yes, Haruki Murakami, through his characters, encourages the readers to not only accept but to love the loneliness of adulthood, but solely in terms of being self-sufficient and independent, in terms of knowing oneself, to dream big, to take risks, and not to be afraid to be disappointed, and to grow mentally and spiritually. And loneliness as coldness, loneliness as indifference is another matter, right? So, the reaction of media really surprised me too. This attack was seen exclusively as the crime committed by sectarians. But what about the fact that people were driven by the system to such an extent that even when everyone around was dying, all they could think about was how to get to work? And I also realized while reading that many people in Japan feel really isolated from something big and something common. And because of that, I believe the topic and theme of sects and cults is really relevant in Japan. Also, let's think of the phenomenon of hikikomori, which comes from Japan. And I wasn't really surprised that in order to become the member of the cult, a potential member should have said farewell to the sum of 30,000 yen, the minimum donation amount. The members of the cult, were looking for some kind of enlightenment. And I believe they found themselves later in this trap because they were lonely. Yeah. I also think that this book has a really powerful message and is really important because, seems like death and misfortune of one person is a tragedy, and death and misfortune of many people is statistics. And thus, the right to speak and be heard was given to individuals with help of this book and their lives and their own experience. Personally, while reading this book, I was once again convinced that it is better to be wrong and to apologize later for unnecessary anxiety than to regret the silence. Of course, don't get me wrong, I don't want us to be paranoid and to see potential danger in everything and everyone, but also we should not ignore suspicious things or objects left unattended or people who make us feel uncomfortable or anxious by their behavior. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and healthy. I will be more than happy to see you in the comments. Bye.